Like, you know what I mean? Remember when you were younger, they say you go to jail or Joe for Bubba. But then you go to the woman prison.
All right, let's get some prophecy, then we got it. All right.
I got one more precept about Esau. This is the book of Hebrews 12 and 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one more soul of meat sold his birthright.
Hey, Slakia, real quick, when you go back to Job 30, for Job 30 and 8, more vile, the NLT says they are nameless fools, outcasts from society.
Damn.
Esau, he's the outcast.
Damn.
I used to have a toy when I was a kid called Outcast, and it was a big white caveman.
Oh, shit.
When I was a kid, you Google it. Google it, Outcast. It's an actual so-called superhero.
It makes sense why when they got in power, they would say no colors allowed, no Hispanics, because that's what we did to them. We want these niggas around us, man.
Right.
I watched the cartoon of Flintstones. They didn't have no dark skin.
Right.
Yep.
Wow.
But they brought a Martian in.
Right.
Now Hebrews 12 and 17, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Right, and that's plain. You know, they count Genesis 25. You know, he got rejected. You know, he sold his birthright and whatnot. And now Esau, he's trying to get that birthright back. You know, through what is NWO.
Through his electronically tagging people.
Yep.
Because Jacob's blessing is to have rulership over the earth and the people on it. So Esau wants that through his charagma, you know, which the Lord's going to allow him to get a certain amount of people, but then destroys us. See?
Yeah, and Esau crying for a blessing. He wasn't crying because he's like, I need the kingdom. He was crying because he's covetous.
Yeah.
He always wants what you have.
Yep.
You know, he sees you. He was only sleeping with our women because it was a way to get at us.
Right.
He wasn't doing that like I'm just so in love.
Like he likes women.
Right. Like he likes women.
Still with that song?
Drop that.
Okay.
This is I'm not gonna read this verbatim. You know, I don't even touch on this shit no more. But we do have to bring out the plan with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, we know what's happening, but really we're at this stage now of why? Why are they doing it? So it's coming out why this is happening, why they got the CV, why they're, you know what I mean? So people really have no idea why they really push this, man. So it says the coming LD, which you know.
Right, we're just going to speak in code.
Yep. It says it's designed to invoke nationwide protests so they can be exploited as backdrop for false flag event to blame the
the people who don't want to go with the program.
Yep.
All right, the people who are aware, the people whose eyes are blessed to see, you're going to be blamed.
Yep.
It's your fault. You know?
So they created a problem. They're even creating you how to react to bring in their solution.
Well, in Esau's mind, it's the perfect plan, but I'm thinking like this shit don't make no sense.
Right.
Like if you're a boxer, you telegraph punches, you know what the guy's gonna do. We're spiritually telegraphing his punches, man. Right. You know, before he throws them. Right. There was honor and shit, you know?
Right.
So you want to take it tonight, right? Start from the top?
Yeah, I just got to plug this battery in.
Yeah, you got a little more.
Yeah, so don't take this CV like a light thinking, oh, this piece.
Yeah, don't take the surface. Take the science.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? Because the biggest thing we're at now is breaking down why this is taking place. Like, not only is it prophecy, but what does he have planned with it? That's why we have to go into certain articles, if you will.
Ultimately, John's vision. But this is socially conditioning you for not going in certain places without having this. Not being able to go here without having that. You see?
Segregation.
What does it sound like? Rev 13. You see?
Rich,
But
poor.
I said in the chat last night, remember it said for the comedy club, it said, show your
Proof.
Yeah.
You got to show proof, and he ain't from 8 Mile. But what's crazy is the proof, like the proof. What is that getting ready for? Because soon they're gonna have to create something that you use to that be identified with. But it's a piece of paper, just like that Social Security. Here it is. You need a Social Security birth certificate, but neither of them are laminated.
right.
So if it's rain, but I need it.
Right.
So because why they're showing you it's temporal for something greater that's going to be electronical, so you can walk around with it. Boop,
Well,
boop.
if I say, hey, you know, I lost my birth certificate, and they say, well, we could just put it on this.
Exactly. Yep.
You don't got to worry about losing it no more, Mr. Johnson.
Yep. Mine's all tethered and ripped. It looks like Dead Sea Scrolls. You know? But that was because that's a prelude, just like now, all these mandates, the forcing, because that's a prelude to get you ready for the ultimate, you know?
Even, I was going to say, just to back you up, it's always been like that, because even with social security cards and birth certificates in some states, you can only get so many. Like in Delaware, you can't get more. Like if you lose your social security card like 5 times, you can't go and request another one.
It's mine. That's what I hate about this place. Like, if you're over 21, but your license expired, you can't buy alcohol.
Right.
That don't change my age. That's confusion. And then you got some proud, dumbass slave that's at the register. You know what I mean? But we're coming to a time where people are gonna stop putting up with that. They're gonna knock cashiers out, take over Walmart. That's coming.
That's coming.
These pawns are gonna be the first, just like chess. Who's the first piece is usually taken out? The pawns. Who are the pawns? Your average citizens, your city workers, your
Right. I can't get to the king. I got to get out this pawn
Yep.
first. I'm going to take his ass out.
Yep. The managers,
The
mayors,
governors.
and even on the small level though, the middle class workers, the bus drivers, the teachers, the school nurses, the security guards at hospitals,
The taxpayers.
they're gonna get their shit right because they're trying to be porters or enforcers for Esau in his tabernacle of wickedness.
Trying to uphold this society.
Yep.
Even these people with the pop-up clinics, they're going to be targeted.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Somebody might trust in that, bring their loved one there, something happened to them, they're going to go back there.
So real quick, I'm gonna give the date. This was August 3rd. It's August 4th, so that was 4 days ago. I mean, it's August 7th, which was 4 days ago. It says, within the next 12 days, multiple sources have told us the pretender-in-chief, Joe Biden, Joe Babylon Biden time, which Joe Biden is 2 people. You know? You don't even know. That ain't the same Joe Biden back with Obama.
Hell.
It ain't the same guy. No. They show you that in the movie G.I. Joe.
Yep.
One president, and then he walked in and it was another guy. They show you that Passenger 57.
Before Obama left, he said it sure would be nice to still be president for a 3rd term and just have the microphone telling the guy what to do.
See? Wow.
And you had Joe Biden just go and he wore the infamous tan
Yep,
suit
yep.
that Obama,
Obama,
you know
yep.
what I mean? Like,
See?
fucking with the, you know.
Yeah. Even if you look at his facial features, not to go deep, but I did an experiment. When he was with Obama, his earlobes were like regular, like this. But now with Kamala, they're connected. You know, some people, but that's showing that's a different person. That's actually a different person. That's not the same dude. You know? But this, see, it's all a show. Oh, movies.
The Truman Show.
Not even, remember, Fresh Prince, remember Aunt Vivian? She went from black to light.
Yeah.
But it was the same, you just kind of went with it.
Same character.
It was the same character, but a different actor. You see? It says, the pretender-in-chief, Joe Biden, will announce, this is what they're saying, will announce a nationwide LD fraudulently blaming the
believers.
Yep. Well, and
the woke.
The woke against what they're pushing, right? It says, for overzealous action, the lockdown will have no specific end date. Remember, he said it's going to be a black winter, a dark winter, but he didn't say what winter, you know?
Which, Lord willing, is going to be this one. You know?
And Lord's will. And it is likely to be strongly resisted by red states.
Like Texas and Florida. You want to read that real quick?
This is an article off the naturalnews.com, and it says Texas to impose a $1,000 fine on businesses requiring people to wear face masks.
Oh, good.
Yep.
This is division.
Yep.
And this is Egyptian versus Egyptian.
Right.
These are all prophecies. Yep. Oh, and they shall not regard king. Why? Or they should not regard prince. Why? Because say a prince is your business owner, but the prince in your state is the mayor. I don't gotta listen to you.
Right.
You heard what my mayor said. You know, you can't fine, or you can't make me. You gotta fines. And then what's that gonna do? That's gonna diminish the businesses to make them go bankrupt. So this could be a plan to further take out the last resistance of standing businesses.
Yes. They want to do away with the so-called middle class.
Right.
So it's only going to be what major corporations that they push you to. But in order to get inside those those establishments, you got to do what they say.
You got John's vision.
Right.
Yep.
And it says
Man.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
Yeah, like look at like right here. Say if this mayor was set up to do what they're doing down there, you got these store over here, this store over here. They may say, all right, if we force it, we're gonna get fined, and then they keep getting fined because people aren't getting it, but they have to do it because who they're being insured by is saying, hey, you need to make sure that these have this because your insurance is going to run out.
And you got to make sure your employees do it too.
Exactly.
Or they can't be here.
So the longer that they keep trying to do that but getting fined is going to make their ass file for bankruptcy.
Yeah, it's going to put them out of business.
And then it's going to lead you to what? To have to go to the beast. You see? So this is the last effort to take out mom and pop, man.
Right.
The mamas and the papas.
The middleman.
Welcome to the end.
Hey, call all y'all about you outside.
Right,
Okay, brother,
Josh.
Rahman, you want to get Ecclesiastes 12 up for yourself?
Going to argue.
You have something?
I got something to back you up.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an article from 2013, January 14, 2013, from the Texas Tribune. It says the White House is responding to calls from Texas for secession and 7 other states and has called for healthy debate. And the White House We the People website allows for any petition to receive a response provided it gets 25,000 signatures. This petition received over 125,000. Again, this was 2013 that they was trying to break away. And then the other state succession petitions addressed in the response came also from Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Oh, that we went in that lesson.
Yep.
We just did a lesson on that.
Yep.
That they want to secede and they want to break America to 5 regions.
Yep.
And
So
who?
same thing going back to
Yep.
they was already trying
Well,
to.
and I'm going to say this in the spirit. The word Texas means friend, and
Yep.
you don't know if Texas is being used as a main spearhead for the elites to bring division.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It makes sense because what's Texas known for? All the big oil business guys down there, the guns.
Is it the Show Me State?
Yeah, all type of.
Oh, and they Texas Longhorns. That's the Moloch. Cattle.
Bushes, a long line with
Yeah.
the elite family.
Then
got,
and
Distribution.
and in Houston they did that false flag with the Jake. Xavier, Micah
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Xavier
Yep.
Johnson
They
with
have
the
real-
police.
It's like they have real lax gun laws too. They got the NRA, the National Rifle Association. And then that movement, the Purge Forever was in Texas. So a lot of people are going to Texas right now.
Right.
And the brother say, the elder said, keep your eyes on Texas. Man.
Yeah.
So you might go there to think you're safe. Yep. You might go there to think you're safe, and then fucking civil war breaks out.
And they lock you in because now it's a super, and then they're gonna blame them.
And then you try to go to Mexico, you can't because they're a wall right now.
Yeah.
And they show you that.
Hey, Salaki, they showed in a movie where basically the president, I can't remember the name of the movie, but that they sold Texas to China because of the debt.
The campaign,
Okay, kind. Yeah.
Oh,
the comedy.
shit.
Was it a comedy?
I don't. It was. I would have to look at. It, but
Okay.
it was like the president came on news and he was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
and then like it was all hell, but they had like the UN and
Yep.
China in Texas, and it was
So
crazy.
so United Nations. So they got troops down there, man. It would make sense if they come up from Mexico.
Well, they're here now, right?
Yeah, they're in
With
Canada.
the they called the UN to come to America to help with racial equality.
Woo!
Beautiful.
To help get Jake.
Hell yeah.
All right. I
Get
believe they were in some airport in Midwest somewhere.
Beautiful.
It's more. It says Texas Governor Greg Abbott has threatened to fine local officials and businesses $1,000 for requiring people to wear face masks.
That's division. Because right now, up here in upstate New York, they're putting it back out there like, hey, in order to enter here, you need to wear that.
It says
Better buy some Band-Aids.
So what do you think is about to happen? It's about to be a mass exodus from New York, from California, from all these blue states.
And then what they're gonna do is stop people from exiting to stop spreading.
Yep.
Oh, you can't. You can't. A man shall desire.
Right.
Nah, you can't. You gotta hold on. There's an outbreak.
Yeah, a lot of people gonna desire to go to Texas and Florida. Watch.
Mike Adams said, if you have not bugged out yet, and you are in the inner city, that is your tombstone. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna lock the inner city in, like right there. See that map? It says City of Rochester. See the circle? They're gonna make a what do they call a radius?
Yeah, radius.
You know, like they show you that in movies. In the movie Fugitive, with Wesley Snipes, my man. He said Tommy Lee Jones. He said, I want a 5-mile radius. And they locked the whole thing down.
They show you that also on containment in Atlanta.
Mhm.
They lock people out. Nothing gets out. Nothing gets in.
And they did that right here in New York. Rockland, what was it? Rockland, New York?
Rochelle,
New York. You ain't heard nothing about them. Nothing, but they were locked. They were left in, and now we don't know nothing.
Well, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna lock you in. They're gonna cause blackouts, a social media blackout, so you can't go live and show everybody else what's going on. See?
And then to try to get through, they're going to be scanning, and Robert Neville ain't going to be able to say, "Scanner again," because their machines are faulty.
Right.
They came out and said that these machines are faulty. They're not even. They're just saying you're. You know, it's like what's that thing when you step on a scale to weigh yourself? You can change the scale to make yourself 10 pounds lighter. So they could just say nope, because in the movie I Am Legend, he scanned her, she had it. He scanned her again, she didn't have it. You know?
Man.
How many other people that happened to?
Right.
Their ass had to stay there.
Right.
See?
I'm gonna jump down to the second paragraph, and it says, Abbott's July 29th order said no governmental entity, including a county, city, school district, and public health authority, and no government official may require any person to wear a face covering or to mandate that another person wear a face covering.
Bro, they're using them.
Yeah.
They're using them because when this first came out with Florida, they said Florida it's spiked through the roof. They're using them because they have to still have a window to say it's not the that's causing people to get sick. It's the ones that ain't got it. Because the ones that have been are the spreaders. But they don't want the public to know that. You see? So they're using independent sovereign states as a vibration to say, well, they're the reason why it's still happening.
So those states are going to be used to say this is where the most cases are.
So go there first. And then that's going to lead bang, bang, pow, pow. You know?
That was the point.
All right, I got a little more. Back in Natural News, it says the lockdown will have no specific end date. The beginning of sorrows, man. Jacob's trouble, man. We're reading the plan of Jacob's trouble right now, man.
So it'll behoove you, man. Like, we don't know the day or the hour, but it behoove you to get what you need. You might not be able to.
Yeah. Have some batteries, a little flashlight. Ain't wrong with that.
Some food, some water.
Might still have to be in the house. You know? Might have to be in the house. Find different ways to light things, you know? Eat.
Your children might not go back to school this year, man.
Right. Or if they do, they'll take them. They're going to do a medical kidnapping of children, you know. And they took them at school. They say that's what the Nazis did, you know.
Say some famine and captivity.
They should. Yep. Meaning in the camps, like in the movie The War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
They only could see their chimps when they had to go to those camps. It says, and it is likely to be strongly resisted, prophecy, by red states,
Which is what? Sedition among
men. While blue states will effectively be turned into medical police states.
New York is a blue state. Yeah?
Yep.
All right. I don't know any others, but I know New York and California. They're the two major blue states. Yeah?
Which makes sense why Cuomo is being targeted for sexual harassment, because they're getting him out to put a new puppet in that will be down for the system.
Right.
You see, because either he's not with it, or they're saying your job's done, we're setting a new one in.
Right. He's not going hard enough.
Because there's new kings and princes being established. The new king in Iran is now called the Butcher of Tehran. The Butcher. He's a mass murderer. So the Lord is raising up men that are going to be using the spirit to be with it.
Well, it says, "Wake up the mighty men."
Yep.
Prepare war. You see.
So they might take Cuomo out. What's that, brother? Yeah. So they might take Cuomo out, which he might be a Jake. He said, "Oh, Trump, we read our Bibles." And his brother, he's kind of a little niggerish. You know what I mean? So he might be a Jake, but they might be putting a straight up Edomite in. A pure devil.
But even on Cuomo, the way he's talking, who's he's targeting? So-called blacks and Latinos.
Right.
Why is that? Because we're the Israelites.
Right.
See?
Right.
You got something to say?
19. Okay. This is book of Isaiah 19 and verse 2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother.
Right, who are the Egyptians? The modern day Americans. All right, you got Israelites, but guess what? They're in the spirit of being an Egyptian. So they're going to fight to uphold this place too. You got people going door to door. A lot of those are going to be Israelites, man. You see?
So they're gonna fight to keep their beer, garlic, mandrakes.
Yep.
Like remember before they said we had in Egypt. You know they're gonna want to play their lotto still, smoke their cigarettes while they got in the tip of their mouth like a Detroit mechanic, doing their numbers and shit. That's all Jake want to do. They get that little warm feel from the beer, have a woman. But with this coming, it's gonna stop that. You know, Jake gonna miss that rap music too. They ain't gonna be playing rap. They might play Garth Brooks in a FEMA camp just to torture your
They're
ass,
going to play DMX.
to mock you. Yeah. Hey, bark. Making a bark.
Heavy metal and Jake Wong.
Yep. They do that for real. That's actually a torture tactic the elites do to children for adrenochrome. They play heavy satanic metal, which there's a heavy satanic metal group by the name of Sakari, just like Sakari. Look them up. They're literally Satanists, and they're but they play that to boost your fear, to bring adrenaline to take your blood. That's why when the beheading comes, they're going to keep the bodies to harvest the organs. You know?
It all makes sense.
Yeah, it really does.
Why would you bring back beheading?
Yeah, right. To harvest the organs. And I've been doing that with Jake.
Because in their inward part, their houses shall continue forever.
Then they had the movie called I Am Mother, where they went to sleep and then a robot nursed them to full age from babies in a controlled deep underground base. Yep, with Hilary Swank. It's actually a good movie.
Yeah.
Little Swank. It says, most importantly, the new lockdown will be perceived as so overreaching. And why? Because you can't go here.
Because it's an unrighteous decree.
Yep.
You know, how you going to tell someone to stay in the house all day? See?
So that means welfare is about to get cut off. The unemployment, Section 8.
The eviction moratorium. You see? So what about those people that's going to be on the street soon? They're going to be forced into homelessness. So now they don't want you outside. So they're going to be the first to be put in camps.
Which they did that years ago, whereas rumored in California, they rounded up homeless people and tagged them. You brothers remember that?
Yep.
Where homeless men in California mysteriously were going missing, and they were like, they tagged me. You know, nobody believed them.
They got the electronic tag.
Yep.
Seattle too.
Oh, yep.
Well, more recently.
Y'all see?
Because a lot of homelessness in Seattle.
See?
You got like whole 10 cities out there, just like Cali has.
So you better watch out, Deacon. They're coming out there. It says in totalitarian that nationwide protests will soon commence. The purge is in full commence.
That's right.
For the next 24 years.
The new founding fathers.
I remember last year when they had those protests, we were happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Never seen so much people down here in my life.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, they all threw it down, and they rioted right here. They were throwing tear gas right here. All right here. We camped all up and down this, saying what was coming. And then the Lord had it happen.
It was right there, and over there, I believe, on Plymouth, the courtroom.
And did any of these Jakes come to us? Did any of them say, "Hey, man"? None of them.
None of it.
None of them, man.
But when that fucking demon over there tried to attack us, they all had their phones
Yep.
up, screaming world story.
Yep.
You know?
That's why not all Israel's Israel. That's why Proverbs 1 is about to come into effect, where the Lord's going to laugh at their calamity. You know, when you see some demon nigga woman or some demon Draco, demon savage nigga out here crying because he's getting his head split, praise the Lord, man. Because it says, lift not up a cry or a prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the day of their calamity.
These women too. When they be trotting down us the mire of the streets, we gonna clap hands.
And you know a woman's a seducer. You baby, you know, don't get soft in that day. I'm good, man. Walking all up and down, trotting, bouncing ass and boobs all day, trying to distract us while we at camp. But then when judgment comes for you, now we supposed to stop, Mr. White Man. Only a nigga woman jumps on the white man to save him when judgment comes. We ain't jumping to save her. You remember that black woman? She jumped on that KKK member. Yep. She had a USA sweater on. Nah, man, they gotta go down with their oppressor. we got more house niggas than field niggas out here, man.
Right.
You know?
Hands on your head.
Yup.
They got 3-7. That on, bro.
Now, there's more, but I'll wait.
This St. Zechariah 14.
And let me say this, and this is the nastiness of the truth. This is the reality. If we were sitting out here just black love and all that, right? We'd be lying. We'd be lying. We'd be lying to our people. We'd be lying to ourselves. We'd be false prophets. We're telling the nitty and gritty. It says, if they come, tell them a sword to slay, those captives to captive, deaf to deaf, you know, beasts to tear.
Right.
Who's those beasts? Those beasts is going to be by the troops, and they're going to have robots.
Right.
Don't you know they got eater robots that fuel off human flesh and blood? So they're going to go through cleaning the streets up with street cleaners that are cleaning up bodies. You know, eating people, man. Woo.
Well, within a few years, these people that took that, you know what, I'm just gonna start dropping. You know, it's gonna be massive traffic accidents, man. People behind the wheel just give up the ghost, cause a huge pileup on I-39.
Well, bro, that's how Bird Box was. Remember, she was just driving and then she just got, you know, she got suicidal. So at any moment, something could trigger them. They're all they're incubators.
Ticking time bombs.
They're used as incubators to hold a super engineered weapon.
Bio weapon.
Yep.
And on August 11th, which is a few days away from now, they're supposed to do a test. Which that test could have some sort of reaction on people.
Yep.
Now they could focus it in like a main part, but it's definitely going to have something. You know.
Well, in San Diego, the DHS did a trial run of how police and military would react to a zombie apocalypse. And with certain frequencies can put you in a lethargic state. So it makes sense why they put all these 5 and 6G towers out, because they could turn them on and then you got that humming in the movie Cell out of nowhere.
Yep.
She gonna be recording, twerking and start, you know, convulsions. You be like, what dance move is that?
Hey, I just learned, since y'all bringing it out, what Esau did with the jab, you know, because copper is very good for us. So what he did was, part of that jab, he used copper for the proteins in your body. So that way, when you activate those 5G, copper is the highest
conduction.
Yeah, exactly. So
it can flow through.
That copper is wrapping around those proteins, and that's what's going to be that reaction, just like your brothers.
And they're also lowering your immune system, which you know when else they lower your immune system? When they want to do an organ transplant so your body doesn't reject it. So what are they getting ready? Why are they lowering your immune system so your body don't reject the vision of John? That's why it's wrapped in a human bonding capsule. Because your body naturally would resist it. So they're going to give you the same procedure if they were doing a heart transplant. If you had to go get your heart transplant, they would give you medicine to lower your immune system, to stop the white blood cells so they wouldn't fight and reject the new organ being put in, to then make it one with your body. Then they release that pathogen, so then your body starts healing now with it in it, and it's accepted it. So that's what they're doing. They're conditioning you to get ready to accept the foreign object.
You want water?
St. Zechariah 14 and verse 13.
I mean, but you brothers see it, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
We got everything we need to start a fire, man.
Right.
You got the kindle, you got the tinder, you got the big logs.
Yep.
And then you got Esau coming over caveman, and he's throwing more in.
Yeah,
He's fanning it. You know, so good. But you can the vision plain.
You can see it.
It's very plain, man. And more we're so-called sounding like conspiracy theorists.
Which all the theories are being proven facts.
That's right.
Yep. And now the thought police that are called fact checkers, which you don't know shit, all they are set up to do is be bodyguards to keep protecting his agenda.
Yep.
Keep his lie going.
Yep. No, you're lying. What experts said, you know?
Right, that's what they do when they take your video down. This does not...
We decided.
Right. The guidelines.
But what about freedom of speech?
Right.
Good.
St. Zechariah 14 and verse 13. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them.
Right, a tumult is a war cry. All right? Which that's pretty much what this is. And the article came out last year Max the blacks. That's a tumult. You know, the same thing is written in Psalms 83, the crafty counsel.
And it says, and they shall lay hold every one of the hand of his neighbor.
Ooh, read it one more time.
Yep. Zechariah 14:13. And they shall lay hold every one of the hand of his neighbor.
Right, that's Egyptian against Egyptian.
Right.
That's these brothers, because your neighbor is your brother, your friend. Okay, so these Americans, they're going to be at each other's throats. And with the social distancing, what that has done is made people cold one to another, because you can't see nobody's facial expression.
Right.
You know, so you tune people out now.
It's a CIA tactic. It's a tactic that they do to break down someone they're interrogating, separate them from the people, cover them up, because it does something psychologically to you, you know? Like I used to joke and say, I hide behind a mask, but that's actually a vibration. You can hide behind it, you know? And then with them, it gives them an alter ego, you know, because now you don't see my face, so they're, exactly.
Well, they made it easier for people to rob one another.
Yep. Yep.
You just walk.
I remember it was wild when I went to the bank and it said before you come, make sure you wear a mask. What?
Right.
Like usually, you know what I mean?
Right.
Don't shoot. I'm here for the $100 the sign-on bonus. Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You guys give me the money.
Shit, now you just walk in with your mask on. You know?
Back in St. Zechariah 14:13, it says, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
Damn.
That's it.
So Homer and Ned are gonna be fighting.
Yep.
The Simpsons, they get everything right. Because in the movie, Ned helped Homer. Remember to get across when the mob was coming? But nah, in real life, neighbors, they're going, friends shall fight like enemies. Okay? They're going to fight one another. There was a movie we watched, it was based in London. It was a blackout, and he was the only one that had the generator. So when the lights go out, you can hear things from a distance. So when the power goes out, you're going to know who's got resources. And that's going to be the new hotspot.
That's going to be the target.
Right.
You're going to have a target on your back.
Yep.
Especially in cities, everything is so congested.
Yep, especially in the
So close.
So if you
That's why going back, the guy said it's going to be your tomb.
So you're going to be raped, looted, murdered, shot, and ain't no one coming. And that's another thing. You think the city officials of these states are going to rush to help a Jake?
And then you got these proud ass heathens. They live right on this damn street.
Yep.
They're done. They're
Yeah.
through. You know?
I got a little more in the article. It says, this is actually all part of the plan. The lockdown push is being engineered. What's engineered? Problem, reaction, solution. And when something that's engineered, it's skillfully designed. So it's like Earth. It was skillfully designed. We are skillfully designed. Our eyes, ligaments, body, cells. That's by skillful design.
That's an engineer.
That's an engineer.
Very particular.
So Esau is engineering his new world order, and
Pandemic.
it's playing out right before our eyes.
So I believe the C word, I believe that means crown. So this is how he wants to crown his enterprise.